What's going on, everybody? A Delicious Mango back again with another YouTube video. Hope you guys have been having a fantastic day so far. And this has been a video that a lot of people have asked me for in my Twitch streams. Of course, if you guys want to watch, go ahead and check out the link in the top of the description. It'll take you over to Twitch. We'll actually be live right now as of the posting of this video, probably running some of these assault rifles we're talking about today. But of course, we're talking about what assault rifles do I think are the best. Assault rifles, I have said many times, it is the bread and butter weapon class of this game. You should probably be running an assault rifle all the time. And a lot of people like to run double SMGs, or like to run SMGs and shotguns, but if you could even go double assault rifle, would be totally fine. Assault rifles are by far the most well-rounded and versatile weapon class in this game, and there's a lot of good assault rifles in here. In fact, if I were to make a weapon tier list, which I will probably do soon, there's no assault rifle that would be any lower than B tier, maybe all of them even A tier. Every assault rifle in this game is really, really good, which makes a video like this kind of hard. But of course, one video, all assault rifles, here we go. Starting in last place, unfortunately, I have to go with the Havoc. Now, if you guys are veterans of this game, some of you will know that the Havoc had a brief stint as the best gun in the game by far because it had simply no recoil whatsoever. This thing was a laser beam, and while it does deal a ton of damage with a really nice fire rate now, they nerfed this thing like crazy. The horizontal recoil is pretty rough to deal with, and the fact that you have to have a turbocharger can make things pretty difficult for Havoc users. While it's still a great gun, I would say this is probably the least of the assault rifles. Now, I know a lot of people are going to give me a hard time on this one, but hear me out. I actually think the second worst assault rifle in the game, which doesn't make it bad, but not as good as the other ARs, is the G7 Scout. Now, I know someone's already typing in the comments, but Mango, the G7 Scout's the best gun to rack up damage with. I just get a G7 and a 3x optic, and my 4K games come rolling in. But guys, the G7, if you want to use it as a gun to farm damage, it's not the best assault rifle to farm damage. If you want to use it as a gun to just get some poke damage, it's not the hardest hitting gun for dealing poke damage. It doesn't have great hip fire, it has 20 bullets per magazine. I just don't think it's as useful as people say it is. If you're running a G7, you're probably better off running a sniper rifle to begin with, and then you can pair that sniper rifle with one of the better light ammo guns, that being the R99 or the R301, or heck, even P2020 hammer points. All three of those guns, I think, serve a better purpose than the G7 Scout, because the G7 Scout's purpose of just finding poke damage from a distance can be done with so many other weapons. Part of its downfall is light ammo. I think a lot of the best guns in the game are light ammo guns, and the fact that G7 requires you to run light ammo and find all those attachments is down, puts it down on the list for me, which is why it's actually one spot below the 30-30 repeater. Yes, I believe in my heart that the 30-30 repeater is better than the G7 Scout, and I know there's people already disliking the video or typing in the comments, Mango, your opinion sucks. But listen, this gun deals a lot of damage. When you want to talk about just getting a few shots on someone, with the G7 you're probably only going to hit 2 or 3 at the most. You're going to deal more damage with the 30-30 repeater if you're going for poke damage, which this gun is supposed to be. You can charge up this gun before its first shot, which really boosts the damage, which is nice when you're going against a Gibraltar, because it'll deal over 50 damage and break that Gibraltar gun shield with one bullet. The headshot multiplier is really, really nice. This gun packs a punch, and people don't like it because it's got a weird bullet drop. The bullet velocity is different than the G7 Scout. They're not used to it. They don't like that it's heavy ammo. They don't like that there's no barrel stabilizer. They don't like that they have to reload one bullet at a time. But this gun, when paired with an R99, which you really can't do with a G7 Scout unless you have all the light ammo in the world, this gun can absolutely dominate some squads and pick them apart. I seriously recommend that you give this gun a try. Up next, we have the Flatline, and the Flatline can really pack a punch. And with anvil receivers, you could argue that this gun does the poking responsibility better than even the 30-30 repeater does. The Flatline always hits hard. It does as much damage as the Spitfire, but it's much more mobile, has a better fire rate. This gun really does hit hard. I can't say it enough. 9 or 10 shots will really kill any opponent that you have to fight in this game, and when you're going up against some of the big boys in close to medium range, the Flatline is absolutely the AR you want. You can take out multiple enemies with it if you hit all your shots. The Flatline is always going to be tried and true. The only downside to it is that it does have quite a bit of recoil attached to it. It can be okay at medium to long range. You really don't ever want to put a 3x sight on this unless you're using it in single fire. But if you want to talk about a 2x machine, if you want to put a bruiser sight on this gun and go from close to mid-range, the Flatline is an excellent choice for you. There's only 2 assault rifles left, and I'm going with the final heavy gun on the list, the Hemlock. Now, just a couple seasons ago, the Hemlock was overpowered unbelievably. Everyone was running a Hemlock and a Mastiff. The Hemlock just didn't miss, and I would argue that it still doesn't hardly miss. This gun in burst mode is insane. If you get a purple barrel stabilizer, you should probably run a Hemlock or the last gun on this list. This gun hits hard, it shoots from a long distance, its rate of fire is pretty nice. If you need it in a pinch to hip fire, the Hemlock is very, very strong. Everything about the Hemlock, other than the fact that it's not full auto, is excellent. Deals great damage, very, very accurate at close and long range. You can run it single fire or you can run it burst mode, but right now I would recommend burst mode. It's just a more reliable option. This thing packs a punch. The barrel stabilizer is key. I think this gun really, really, really excels with the best attachments. If you can get a purple barrel, I would highly suggest going out of your way to find a Hemlock and a 3x sight or a 2x sight or a 2x4. Give yourself a little bit of range. The Hemlock is a monster at the mid to long range. It's the best assault rifle at range. It's better than the G7. It's better than the Repeater. The Hemlock in burst mode can absolutely dominate an entire squad, especially if they're running out through the open, which a lot of teams are having to deal with on Olympus right now. If you haven't been giving the Hemlock much love since Season 6, give it another shot. The Hemlock is absolutely torching people with a 3x sight and a good barrel. I can't stress it enough, this gun has won me so many ranked engagements. When you're trying to hold down a defensive area and you've got that Hemlock, you've got a nice sight, you can absolutely keep any team away, even if they're Octane jump padding right at you. The Hemlock can really laser people, but not as much of a laser as the last gun on the list. I don't think anyone's surprised that I think the R301 is the best gun in this category. This is the best assault rifle. It is good in close range, it's good in mid-range, it's good at long range. This assault rifle is the best at farming damage. Sure, you may want to use a G7 and hit 3 bullets, but because the recoil on the R301 is so low, you're going to be able to hit people for 150 at range if you've trained your recoil enough. This gun is an absolute laser beam. If you played Modern Warfare 2, it's like the ACR of this game. It's overpowered. You should be using it. It feels balanced. It doesn't feel like it's a gimmick gun, but in the right hands, this gun absolutely dominates anyone you come across. It is fantastic. It is the gun I want to run every single game. It's better than the R99. It's the best light ammo gun in the game, and it is the best assault rifle in the game. At any range, and any time, you can run an R301 and you will find success. But guys, let me know what you think down in the comments. I know I may have some controversial opinions on assault rifles. I know a lot of people think very highly of the G7 Scout, and all the assault rifles are really good, but not all of them can be #1. So leave your own AR rankings in the comments. I'll make sure to read them. I'll get back to you in the comments, try and reply to a couple that I think are interesting. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did enjoy. I'll catch you all in the next one. Later, everybody.